Hello, welcome to Kilborn 5 Services. I'm Keith. So today I'm working on a little fridge that is in a Boler trailer. So the little fridge, the company is Cool something. I can't remember right now. I'll put it in the description when I get back to the trailer and look at it. So the problem was the pilot light wasn't staying lit. So of course, typically the first thing you go for on that is the thermocouple. So upon inspection, I found that the refrigerator did not have a thermocouple in it at all. So I removed the whole gas valve and electromagnetic valve and everything all out of there, along with the burner, which didn't have the thermocouple in it. Right there's the electromagnetic valve right there. So if you'll notice something about this one, typically your electromagnetic valves, the thermocouple threads into it, and then the end that induces the voltage goes down inside, and then you thread this into it. Well, this is different. This has got on the external threads. So I didn't have any luck finding an actual thermocouple that would fit in it. So I had to manufacture some things to make this work. So before I get into what I had to make and how I did that, what we'll do is we'll go over quickly how to test a thermocouple for those of you who aren't familiar with testing it. So when testing a thermocouple, it's done with millivolts. So a good thermocouple will typically test anywhere between 25 and 35 millivolts. So get yourself a good voltmeter. Okay, I use a Fluke 87.5. Okay. True RMS meter. Some people like to say it's a fluke that it gives you the right answer at all. So, and then I have these little alligator clips to make it easier so that I don't have to hang on to everything. So you take and you clip your one on. I don't know if you can see that or not. Get this into focus here. Clip it on to the dull gray part there. Okay, and then you can take your negative one and just clip it onto the shaft of the thermocouple itself for ground. Okay, now let's just make sure. Yep. Hey, and you take your thermocouple here. Now I'm going to set this up so hopefully you all can see this. Okay, put that there. Get some of the glare. Okay, so we set our meter to millivolts. Okay, and as you can see right now, it's reading 0.1 of a millivolt. And then you grab yourself a lighter, or that I like to use a little butane torch. This is a Portisol. And then what you do is you take and you heat up the tip of this thermocouple. Now they make thermocouple testers and stuff like that you can use, but I already have a voltmeter, and this is just as easy as far as I'm concerned. So we're 23, 24, 25. So we're already past the threshold of it being a good thermocouple. So let's run it till it stops and see what it. So it's not slowing down at all. It's going. There you go. Right to 35. Oh, no, that was 32, sorry. I'm looking backwards on my screen. So 33 millivolts. That indicates a good thermocouple to me. So now we know. Now we know we have a good thermocouple. Okay, So now you've done all that. You've determined that the thermocouple is good, bad, or otherwise. If it was good and you still weren't getting a pilot, as long as there's flame at the burner and that, a good flame, and it's not keeping it open, then you have to go with this, you would have to say that this little electromagnetic valve inside there is done. So you need to get a new one of these. Now, the reason I didn't replace this and why I kind of modified it a bit was because I couldn't find one that was going to fit in this same orientation of how it fits on the back of the fridge. So I decided to manufacture a few things to make this work. Okay, so first off, I had to come up with the taper on this here. This taper, and this was fairly deep, not as subtle as this. So I don't know if you'll be able to see or not, but inside there you'll see how it's kind of shiny in there now. So what I've done is I had to file the top of this down a bit to take some of the shoulder off, the outside shoulder, and then I took a 3/16 drill bit and ran it in there to hone it out just a bit to allow for a more gradual taper, so that this right here where the voltage gets induced can sit in there and actually make contact with this, because before when I just put it in there it wasn't holding the magnet open, so there wasn't enough contact in that area there. So then I had to machine that down a bit and honed it out, and I got it now where there's enough contact in there from the surfaces that it's holding it open now. So the next hurdle I came to was, how am I going to get that to hold down there? Well, that just happens to be a 1/8 fine thread nut, or a cap fits on there. So I went and picked up just a regular cap, and then I drilled a hole in the center of it, and then I took and I cut a groove with the angle grinder and a cutting disc down inside there to allow it so that it would go. Lift that up. We don't need to take that off, it'll just stay there, it's not going to hurt anything. And then I just slide that over top like that, and then I can set it down on top and thread this down and tighten it up, and there you have it. And then you can see there now that that's all held down there nice and tight into the dish there of the electromagnet. Okay, and then of course it's never as easy as just one problem. Get this thermostat out of the way. Okay. Then I ran into another problem where I need the thermocouple to sit in here. So I found these little Teflon or Dylon, or what, I can't remember what the actually, they're a Teflon bushing anyways. I managed to press that into that hole there because it was just about small enough that the end of the thermocouple would sit in there. But then when you get these universal thermocouples, they come with this little metal clip that you snap onto it, and then it pushes into the little coupler that goes in there, and it snaps it in there, and that's what allows you to tighten it in to the normal spot of where a thermocouple would go. Of course, again, nothing about this has been normal. So once I got that little Dylon bushing in there, I was able to then I could use that same bracket and push it into place, and then it holds it nice and tight into place there. And then once I get everything all nicely adjusted and fixed in there, I'll be able to hold it in there. And as you can see, tip is in a nice spot. So there you have it. So that was my start of my project for today, and I'll have to go I have to go back and finish it at the guy's place tomorrow. So if he'll let me run the camera while I'm putting it all back together, I will do that. If not, maybe I'll be able to find some pictures and that of it. But it's a little tiny fridge in a Boler. I'll put the name of it in the description. So there you have it. There's a basic rundown of how to run a voltmeter for testing a thermocouple. Check it, and then there was my my fix to be able to modify a thermocouple to work on this here unit. So, okay, till next time. Thanks. Please like, subscribe, dislike it if you don't. I know that there'll be comments of how I could have done things better. I always appreciate constructive criticism and even unconstructive criticism. Learn something from it all. So, all right. Thanks.